Yeah, I just want to repeat again where the speak comes up. There's no conspiracy here. We just have this policy issue under review. I just want to make sure you all understand that. Nobody's conspiring. There's nothing political. This is an important issue. It needs to be taken serious. It's a matter of being human and respectful to our elders. And we're doing what we don't turn policy issues or laws around in 2 days. That's irresponsible. We can't do that. And I don't have the ultimate authority here. It has to go through legal review. We have to get an opinion from the administration before a matter gets put on the agenda. So there's a process here. Just understand, there's no conspiracy. It's unfair to think that way.
I know you and I debate this all the time, and I guess because the way I don't want to see something unless it's vetted through administration and the
This didn't come
department.
from the administration. It came through Councilman Krakoviak.
I understand that, and I appreciate his efforts, and a few of us have been advocating to see how we could handle this matter, but at the same token, I need to know where administration's at.
To the people here tonight, for the senior citizens, you know, I'm no bigger advocate, and I thank Mrs. Morelli for the email she sent me back in June, thanking me for my support and my, for the senior program and advice and ability to help wherever I can help when it comes to seniors. You're a very important asset, and like Leanne said, we're all, 63 years old and retired, but I ain't gonna make it to 63 and retire, so, but thank you, Wendy, for the encouragement. But our seniors are a very important part of our community, and we need to look out for them. We need to make sure they're protected, but we also need to make sure everything we put into legislation does the right thing.
I appreciate everyone who came out and talked to. A lot of articulate people making very good points. I want to thank Ms. Zalino and Ms. Morelli, and I'm sure all of the people that they talked to, but those are the two people I worked with on this ordinance. And just a few thoughts about that, given some of the comments we've heard. This is an advisory board. Its only power is to exist. In fact, if the council doesn't want to approve this, you can still have an advisory board and appoint somebody to come up here and talk at the council meetings and provide a report once a year, because that's the powers of this organization. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised at some of the comments up here, because I can't recall the last time a proposed ordinance here was put on hold because we had to figure out what all the policy implications were for it. Can anybody remember the last time we did this?
Okay, Councilwoman Castellino.
I'm going to vote no, but I do want to state the language changes the reason why I have to vote no, there's a lot of language changes with this particular ordinance.
Okay, Councilman Guarino.
I concur with Councilwoman Castellino. There are things in language that need to be looked at, and so at this point in time, until the language is changed, I would vote no.
Councilman Krakowiak.
I'll just point out, before I vote, based on the comments by my colleagues, that we have had well over a month. I've requested comments and from both the administration and my colleagues. The version of this has been out there for weeks and weeks, and I have heard not a single suggestion on how it should be changed. And now at the time that it's being introduced, Councilwoman Castellino seconds the motion and then votes against it. But if anybody had any problems with the language, they have had well over a month to bring them up. So I'm surprised and maybe even shocked that these are the comments. Why are they a secret? The whole purpose of this process is to submit the proposed legislation and have people look at it and comment on it before it comes before first reading. And there was absolutely none. So I'm voting to approve this.
I sent an email on Friday, so don't say there was absolutely none. I had responded to an email. That's all I'm going to state, because
You asked questions in that email of
Can-
the
can we-
administration
can-
and not me.
Ca-
And you
Councilman-
proposed no language changes at all.
Councilman, can you
Sure,
express your
sure,
vote?
sure.
Go ahead, can you express your vote?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I think what I found out this evening, or what it sounded to me this evening, there was an overarching theme that surfaced, and it was really all about grants. Because every speaker, I can tie in right now, everything that was just said, particularly about all of the seniors.
Just to speak on seniors, I mean, I think about seniors 24/7, 7 days a week, and ever since I came to the council, before I was on a council, it's not just an election year thing for me.
Now, I'm not here to throw the mayor under the bus. I would never do that to the mayor. It did not look well on television. Actually, it played out horribly. So, with that being said, I'm not going to speak for the mayor, but I think some of you have already spoken with the mayor, and he feels very strong that senior services are his responsibility, and that, he wants to, continue to manage that.
We did find the administration doesn't find the Senior Citizen Advisory Board to be the proper vehicle to bring input, because in my opinion, and you know what, I had this discussion, it's a little bit of a slippery slope in some ways. Should we form an advisory board for the fire department? Should we form an advisory board for the police department? Should we form an advisory board for the health department? It's an office of the administration, and it really is a slippery slope.
I can't tell you how impressed and blown away I am with the people who have come up tonight to speak in favor of the Senior Citizens Advisory Board. You guys made the case a heck of a lot better than I ever could and certainly did. I'm just amazed that we have people, so many people in this township who understand this issue and understand the challenge and see the Senior Citizens Advisory Board as a big part of the solution. It is nothing more than a volunteer organization to give the seniors a growing and important part of our population an organized voice to simply come up and tell the council and tell the administration what's on their minds, and to help advise us on what needs to be done. And there is no more cost involved in this proposed organization than for many other similar boards that the town has given approval to and sanctioned that require town employees to be either advisors or to actually sit on the board. So I'm with you guys. I just think this is a no-brainer, and I would love to either get the council to revisit this or to just encourage you folks to just form the board in any case. You don't need the imprimatur of an ordinance to do something that makes so much sense and would bring so much benefit and so much good to our community. So I sincerely encourage you to put the group together and do what it was intended to do and bring the benefits that were intended. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Castellino?